This video explains how to calculate inventory turns, AR turns, AP turns, and finally, we will compute the cash-to-cash cycles. These measures are very important in supply chain. You have to know all these measures throughout your whole academic career. And you can find this question from self-study question number 1. This is the last question in self-study question 1. And basically, we have 3 companies, 3 retailers, Costco, Macy's, and Walmart. And we want to compare these 3 companies in terms of supply chain performance. First of all, we can compute profit margin. Second, we can compare activity ratio. For example, inventory turns, asset turns, or AR turns, AP turns. And finally, we will compare cash-to-cash cycle. Then we can compare their liquidity ratios. Cash-to-cash cycle is one of important measure in liquidity ratio. I get this data, these 3 companies financial information from Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance provide financial statement information for public companies, so you can find that. And also to compute these kind of numbers, Yahoo Finance provides some numbers, but they do not provide all important measures. So that's why we have to compute. We have to know basic formula for gross profit, profit margin, inventory turns, AP turns, AR turns, cash-to-cash cycles. So if you are ready for this problem, then first of all, I add some label for each category. Revenue A, cost of goods sold B, AR C, inventory D, AP E. Then I just use these labels for our formula. First of all, we have to compute the profit margin, gross profit. Gross profit, I will give label F. F is what? Revenue A minus B. So if you have this label, it's easy to understand and figure out the exact formula. A minus B is A row minus B. Then you can complete gross profit and then click, and you can move your mouse cursor to the right lower area. Then the mouse cursor will turn into this small black thin cross. Then you can drag. Then you can complete this same equation, or you can copy and paste and this formula. That's another way. And then now next, we can compute profit margin. Profit margin is ratio. So profit margin G equal gross profit divided by revenue. So which is equal to gross profit divided by revenue. So this is percent number. 12%, 40%, 25%. I will change format. So then, what do you think? In terms of profit margin, Macy's is the best. Costco is the worst. This is only one area, only one perspective. Then now we want to compute other activity ratio. Secondly, so I want to compute inventory turns. Inventory turns, I will give label H. H is equal to cost of goods sold divided by inventory D. Then how can you compute this inventory turns? Cost of goods sold divided by inventory. Then Costco, we have almost 12 cycle. Macy's, we have almost 3 cycles. Walmart, we have almost 8.79 cycles. Means 12 cycle means they keep 1 month inventory. Macy's, they keep 3 cycle, means 3 cycles per year, means they keep 4 month inventory. Walmart, they have almost 1.5 month inventory. So inventory size are different. Not simply this, total amount of inventory. Even if Costco, their inventory size is larger than Macy's, but however, inventory turns is better. Means this inventory, you cannot use this inventory total absolute inventory amount because this inventory is a proportion of their company size, so that's why we cannot compare this inventory number dollar exactly right away. So that's why we have to compute the inventory turnover numbers. So then now we can compute days of supplies. So days of supply is a reciprocal number of inventory turnover. This is actually 1 over inventory tons, and we want to compute the daily unit. Then you have to multiply 365 days, then divided by 1, divided by this number times 365 days. Then we have almost 31 days, almost 1 month, right? I change format. So this is 31 days, and then this is 126 days. It's almost 4 days. 42 days is almost 1.5 months, right? This is days of supply. What's meaning of days of supply? Days of supply is what? They keep this inventory from purchase until sales, right? And next, we can compute AR tons. AR tons is the sales side activity ratio. I give label J. This is revenue divided by AR. So we talk about this formula in the class, so I do not explain again. But also you can find this formula from website, or you can find this formula from accounting or finance textbook. Revenue divided by AR. 99 cycles per year means they keep only couple, they collect their cash after their sales. They collect cash around after 3-4 days. 90 or 100 cycle means. Then now we can compute reciprocal value collection period. The collection period is equal to 1 over J times 365 days is equal to 1 over account payable times 365 days. It takes only 4 or 5 days to collect their cash after their sales. After their sales, they have to collect money, right? And AP turns. AP turns is all about payment. And we have to use cost of goods sold, and we have to use AP. Cost of goods sold is business, speed, and AP turns is the average number. So that's why we have this. Then now AP turns, they keep and their payment cycle is almost 11, means they pay every month, almost every month. 5.8, almost 6 cycle means they keep their money inside before they payment. Almost every other month they will pay. Then also we can compute the payment cycle. This is cash out. Then 1 over L times the 365 days is equal to 1 over AP turns times the 365 days, and this is payment cycle. Every 32 days they pay. They keep the money before they pay to their supplier. They receive product from their supplier, and they do not pay until 32 days passed. And we have these numbers, and if you compare profit margin, Macy's is best, but if you look at inventory turns, then Costco is best, right? And then now, also in terms of cash to cash cycle, I mean in terms of a collection period, they are very similar. It doesn't take long because a customer will use credit card, then credit card company will pay to their company, and Costco, Macy's, Walmart, but they will collect some real money later. But anyhow, they're financially they will get this money fully in very short time. And then now we want to compute the cash to cash cycle, cash to cash cycle or cash conversion cycle. Is N. I gave label N. This is actually in days of supply, means sales cycle plus collection cycle. I plus K is cash in. How long does it take make money from purchasing, and then sales, and the final collection. This is cash in. Cash out is payment is what? M. So you can compute days of supply plus collection period. The collection period is very short. This is good. And payment cycle looks like this. Then finally, out of these, which company is best in terms of cash to cash cycle? Walmart, Costco. It doesn't take long to convert their product to sales, so that's why their cash to cash cycle is very short. However, Macy's, their days of supply or inventory days is very long, so that's why their cash to cash cycle is very long. That means what? They need almost 70 days to pay. They need another 70 days to get cash before they payment. So that's why they have to borrow money, right? Longer cash to cash cycle, they need certain money from outside. They have to borrow money. If they have a negative cash to cash cycle, they have enough money, or sometimes they can invest this money until their payment, right? So that's why negative cash to cash cycle is better. So now I will show some different data visualization. I'd like to visualize this performance in two different perspectives. So first one, inventory turns, and second, I will compute the profit margin. So with these two measures, inventory turns is this profit margin, and this profit margin, and then I copy, and then using this, and then I will generate a scatter plot. With a scatter plot, scatter plot, we can visualize these three companies' performance. So y-axis is profit margin, x-axis is inventory turns. In terms of inventory turns, this is Costco. Costco is best. This is, I will add the label. This is Costco. And this is Walmart. I will add some description. This is Walmart. And I will add another description. This is Macy's. Macy's has highest profit margin, but they move very slow. Costco, their margin is very small, but however they move very fast. So that this means even if the same retail industry, they have different position. I mean, Costco has this position. It's more likely to be lean company, but Macy's is more likely to be profitable supply chain, right? Walmart is some between, but it's close to lean supply chain. Lean supply chain means they focus on low price product rather than premium product, right? So basically, from these basic financial statement, we can compute the profit margin, and we can compute the inventory turns and the AP turns, AR turns. Finally, we can compute the cash to cash cycle. Out of this, we can compare these three companies in terms of earns and turns matrix. Looks like this. Then we can recognize, oh, they have different supply chain strategy, right? So that's the key idea of this question. So please practice this type of question, and throughout this semester. Also, for all supply chain major, you have to know this kind of idea very well. You should be familiar with this this concept. Profit margin, you know that, inventory turns and the days of supply, and finally cash to cash cycle. Also think about this earns turns matrix as well.